I'll write part 1 of the story in 800 words with simple English in third-person style, using Korean names as requested. The large meeting room on Space Station Orion fell silent as Lieutenant Junho walked in. He was the only human in a room, full of aliens. His black uniform looked plain next to the colorful clothes and natural armor of the others. Junho stood tall, though he was shorter than most aliens there. Humans came from Earth, a planet that other species called a Deathworld. Earth had stronger gravity, more dangerous weather, and more predators than most planets where intelligent life evolved. "Welcome, Lieutenant Junho," said Ambassador Soha, the human representative. She was the second human on the station. "Please sit. The Galactic Council meeting will begin soon." Junho nodded and took his seat. He noticed many aliens watching him. Some looked curious, others seemed afraid. Humans had joined the Galactic Alliance only 5 years ago. Many species still didn't trust them. "Is it true humans can survive falls from great heights?" whispered a small fuzzy alien to its neighbor. "I heard they can live after losing large amounts of blood," the neighbor replied. Junho pretended not to hear. He was used to these comments. The meeting began with reports from different sectors. Junho listened carefully until Ambassador Koru from the Valaxian Empire stood up. The Valaxians were tall, four-armed beings with blue skin and sharp teeth. They controlled many planets and had a strong military. "The human territories remain a security concern," Koru said loudly. "They claim to be peaceful, but their natural abilities make them dangerous. We have reports of a single human soldier defeating 3 armed guards on Trading Post 7. Ambassador Soha frowned. That incident was misreported. The human was defending himself after being attacked. "Perhaps," Koru said with a smile that showed his pointed teeth. "But it raises questions about human combat abilities. Are they as formidable as rumors suggest? Or are these just stories to make others fear them?" The room grew tense. Junho kept his face neutral, but he knew where this was heading. Koru continued, "I propose a demonstration. A casual sparring match between one of your humans and our Valaxian champion, just to show everyone the truth about human abilities." Whispers filled the room. Junho saw worry on Ambassador Soha's face. "We are not here to prove ourselves through fighting," Soha said carefully. "It's just sport," Koru replied. "We all participate in the Galactic Games. Or are humans afraid to show their true capabilities?" The council leader, an ancient being, with gray skin, raised his hand for silence. "Ambassador Koru, what exactly are you suggesting?" "A simple match. No weapons. Victory by submission only. It would help us understand our new allies better." The council leader looked at Ambassador Soha. "The choice is yours. The council does not require this demonstration." Every alien was now looking at the humans. Junho knew this was a trap. The Valaxians wanted either to humiliate humans by defeating them, or to scare other species by showing how dangerous humans could be. Either way, humans would lose politically. Ambassador Soha turned to Junho with a questioning look. He gave a small nod. "We accept," Soha announced. "Lieutenant Junho will represent Earth in this friendly match." Koru's smile widened. "Excellent. Our champion General Zar will be pleased. The match will take place tomorrow." After the meeting ended, Soha pulled Junho into a private room. "Are you sure about this?" she asked. "General Zar is undefeated in combat. He has twice the strength of a human, and their natural toxins can cause pain on contact." Junho nodded calmly. "They want to prove something about us either way. If I refuse, they'll say we're weak. If I fight and show our full abilities, they'll say we're dangerous. So what will you do?" "I'll fight smart," Junho said. "We can't win their game, but we can change it." That night, Junho studied everything about Valaxian physiology in the station's database. Their 4 arms gave them advantages, but their endurance was poor compared to humans. They evolved on a low-gravity world. Meanwhile, across the station, aliens gathered to discuss the upcoming match. "The human will be destroyed," a Valaxian officer boasted. A small, ancient alien with wrinkled gray skin listened quietly. Finally, it spoke in a whispery voice that made everyone lean in. You mistake physical size for strength, it said. I have lived long enough to see many powerful species rise and fall. These humans, they come from a world that tried to kill them every day for millions of years. Their bodies remember. The room grew quiet. Tomorrow will be educational, the Ancient One said. For all of us. The morning after accepting the challenge, Junho woke before the station's artificial dawn. His muscles felt tight from the higher gravity setting he had programmed in his quarters. He had slept with the gravity at 1.3 times Earth normal, uncomfortable, but necessary for what was coming. Junho began his stretching routine, moving carefully through each exercise. He knew the Valaxians would be watching through the station's security systems. Let them see a human moving slowly, appearing to struggle. The truth would come later. A soft chime announced a visitor. The door slid open to reveal Dr. Yunji, the station's human medical officer. I brought the medical data you requested, she said, handing him a tablet. The Valaxian physiology report. It's not complete. They restricted some information, but it's better than nothing. Junho scrolled through the data. 4 arms, reinforced exoskeleton at joints, toxin glands in the wrists. Interesting. Their poison won't kill you, but it causes intense pain and muscle cramping. Avoid direct contact with their wrist areas, Yunji warned. And their lower left arm is slightly weaker than the others, an evolutionary quirk. Junho nodded. Anything else I should know? They evolved on a world with 0.7 Earth gravity. Their endurance is poor compared to ours. If you can outlast the initial attack, you'll have an advantage. Yunji paused. But Junho, General Zar has killed opponents in these friendly matches before. I know. The ambassador showed me the records. Junho set the tablet down. I'll be careful. After Yunji left, Junho returned to his preparations. He moved to the small training area in his quarters and activated a holographic sparring program. 4 armed opponents appeared, attacking from multiple angles. Junho dodged and countered, studying their movement patterns. Across the station in the luxurious Valaxian quarters, General Zar was also preparing. His blue skin glistened with oils as attendants applied protective coatings to his exoskeleton. The human's file, General, said an aide, offering a data crystal. Zar waved it away. I don't need it. Humans are slow and weak. Their only advantage is their bizarre endurance, but I won't let the match last that long. Ambassador Koru entered the room, his ceremonial armor gleaming. Don't underestimate this human, Zar. Our intelligence suggests Lieutenant Junho has combat experience from Earth's unification wars. Zar laughed, a harsh sound. Combat against other humans, not against a superior species. Just remember our objective, Koru said quietly. We need to demonstrate human weakness to the Council. A quick victory, but nothing too brutal. We want them feared less, not pitied. Understood, Zar replied, flexing his 4 arms. I'll break him just enough. At midday, Junho received another visitor, Taiho, the human cultural attaché. The betting pools are active across the station, Taiho reported. 9 species are betting against you. Only the Arconians are putting credits on a human victory. The Arconians? Why? Junho asked, surprised. They're old. They remember the first contact with Earth. Their ambassador told me they've seen this scenario before with other Deathworld species. Taiho handed Junho a small device. This is from them. A shield generator, completely legal in sparring matches. Junho examined the tiny disc. Why would they help us? The ambassador said, balance must be maintained in the council. No single voice should dominate. Taiho shrugged. Politics. They fear Valaxian influence more than they fear humans. As evening approached, station announcements advertised the match. Crowds gathered in the observation lounges. Most had never seen a human in combat. In the preparation room adjacent to the arena, Junho sat alone, eyes closed, breathing slowly. He had denied Ambassador Soha's offer to be present. He needed to focus. The door opened. A small ancient alien with gray skin entered, moving slowly with a walking staff. You are the human warrior, it stated simply. Junho stood respectfully. I am Elder Mayun of the Arconian Collective. We have placed much faith in your species' resilience. I heard about your bet, Junho said. I'll try not to disappoint you. The elder's wrinkled face formed what might have been a smile. It is not about winning or losing this artificial contest. It is about showing who you truly are. And who are we? Junho asked. That, said Elder Mayun, is what everyone has come to see. The arena buzzed with excitement as spectators from 20 different species filled the viewing galleries. The circular combat space measured 30 meters across, its floor covered with a soft material that would cushion falls without dampening movement. Bright lights illuminated every corner, ensuring the audience wouldn't miss a moment of the coming spectacle. Lieutenant Junho entered from the west entrance. He wore simple black training clothes, loose pants and a sleeveless shirt that revealed his muscular but unimpressive human physique. Compared to many species present, he looked fragile, almost childlike. Several aliens pointed and whispered as he walked calmly to the center circle. That's the Deathworlder? A tentacled being asked its companion. It looks so soft. Ambassador Soha sat rigidly in the diplomatic section, her face carefully neutral despite her concern. Beside her, Elder Mune of the Arconians observed with ancient, patient eyes. The east entrance opened with a flourish of lights and sound. General Zar of the Valaxians emerged to thunderous applause. He stood nearly 3 meters tall, his blue exoskeleton gleaming under the lights. All 4 of his powerful arms raised in greeting as he strode confidently forward. Unlike Junho's plain attire, Zar wore ceremonial combat armor that left his striking joints exposed, a traditional sign of confidence. The 2 competitors stood face to chest, the size difference obvious to all. The station's AI announced the IDD rules through overhead speakers. This is a sanctioned sparring match. Victory by submission or referee stoppage only. No weapons permitted, no intentional serious injuries. A spherical drone hovered between them, the referee and camera that would broadcast every angle of the match throughout the station. Begin when ready, the AI announced. Zar didn't wait. His upper right arm shot out in a lightning-fast strike, aimed at Junho's head. The human barely dodged the blow grazing his ear. The crowd gasped. Most had never seen someone move fast enough to avoid a Valaxian attack. Junho retreated, creating distance, studying his opponent's movements. Zar pressed forward confidently, all 4 arms working in complex patterns designed to overwhelm. One blow connected with Junho's shoulder, spinning him around. Another struck his back. First blood to the Valaxian, someone shouted as a red stain appeared on Junho's shirt. Zar smiled, revealing sharp teeth. Is this the mighty human? The dangerous Deathworlder? He circled Junho, who was now breathing heavily. Your reputation exceeds your abilities. Junho said nothing. He blocked another blow but took 2 more in rapid succession. Red welts formed on his arms where Zar's toxic wrist glands had made contact. The human's face tightened with pain. In the diplomatic section, Ambassador Soha leaned toward Elder Mayun. This isn't going well. Watch closely, the ancient Arconian replied. The human has not yet begun to fight. On the combat floor, Zar had Junho cornered against the edge of the arena. The Valaxian launched a complex 4-armed attack designed to end the match quickly. Observers held their breath, expecting to see the human crumple. Instead, Junho dropped and rolled, using his smaller size to pass between Zar's legs. The move surprised the Valaxian, who spun around awkwardly. For the first time, Junho launched his own attack, a quick strike to Zar's lower left arm, targeting the evolutionary weakness Dr. Yunji had identified. Zar hissed in pain and surprise. The crowd murmured. Interesting defense, Zar acknowledged, but futile. He renewed his assault, driving Junho back again. 10 minutes into the match, Junho was bleeding from several cuts. His movements seemed to be slowing. Zar, confident in his victory, began playing to the crowd, making elaborate gestures before each attack. In the observation gallery, a Valaxian diplomat laughed. The human will submit soon. They always do. Elder Mune's ancient voice replied, soft but clear. You mistake his strategy for weakness. Look at his eyes. Indeed, despite the blood and bruises, Junho's eyes remained calm and focused. He had yet to use the Arconian shield device. He had yet to strike with full force. As Zar prepared another showy attack, Ambassador Koru suddenly frowned. Something's wrong, he muttered. Zar is breathing too hard. The Valaxian champion's movements, while still powerful, had lost their earlier crispness. His forearms no longer coordinated perfectly. Meanwhile, Junho's breathing had steadied. He stood straighter now, watching, waiting. The human endurance that the Valaxians had dismissed was beginning to show itself. 20 minutes into the match, the mood in the arena had changed. What began as entertainment, watching a small human being taught a lesson, had become something else entirely. The spectators watched in growing silence as Lieutenant Junho continued to fight despite his injuries. General Zar was visibly frustrated. His powerful strikes were landing less frequently as Junho adapted to his fighting style. Worse, the Valaxian champion was tiring. His breathing had become heavy and irregular, his forearms no longer moving with perfect coordination. This is impossible, Ambassador Koru muttered, leaning forward in his seat. The human should have collapsed from pain and exhaustion by now. Ambassador Soha allowed herself a small smile. Humans evolved on a high-gravity world with predators that could run for days. Our ancestors didn't always have to be the strongest. They just had to be the last one standing. In the arena, Zar launched another flurry of attacks. Junho blocked 2 blows, dodged a third, but took a powerful hit to his ribs. The sound of impact echoed through the suddenly quiet space. Junho staggered back, blood dripping from a cut on his face. Submit, Zar commanded, circling the human. You fought well for your kind. There's no shame in accepting defeat. Junho straightened slowly, wiping blood from his chin. For the first time since the match began, he spoke. We're just getting started. Something in his calm voice sent a ripple through the crowd. The human didn't sound defeated. He sounded ready. Zar charged forward, all forearms swinging in a complex pattern designed to overwhelm any defense. Junho didn't retreat this time. Instead, he activated the small Arconian shield device, creating a brief energy barrier that absorbed 1 blow. In the split second of surprise that followed, Junho moved inside Zar's guard. What happened next shocked everyone watching. Junho struck with speed and precision that seemed impossible after 20 minutes of punishment. His fist connected with a vulnerable point where Zar's exoskeleton joined at the torso. The Valaxian stumbled, off balance for the first time. Junho pressed his advantage, landing 3 more precisely targeted strikes before dancing away from Zar's increasingly desperate counterattacks. What's happening? Asked a confused diplomat in the observation gallery. Elder Mayun's ancient voice carried clearly. The human was mapping his opponent's weaknesses, learning, adapting. Now we see the Deathworlder awakened. Indeed, Junho moved with renewed energy. His earlier sluggishness had vanished. He had been conserving strength, studying Zar's patterns, waiting for the Valaxian to tire himself out with flashy, powerful attacks. Human physiology, Dr. Yunji explained to those nearby. Our bodies release emergency reserves of energy when needed. Adrenaline, cortisol, endorphins, they mask pain and fatigue. Our ancestors needed these abilities to survive. On the arena floor, Zar was now clearly struggling. His movements had slowed dramatically. The toxic secretions from his wrist glands had diminished, a sign of exhaustion in Valaxians. Yet Junho kept coming, his movements economical and precise. In a desperate move, Zar used all forearms and a grappling technique, trying to use his superior weight to bring Junho down. For a moment, it seemed to work as both fighters fell to the floor. The crowd surged to their feet, expecting the Valaxian to crush the smaller human. Instead, Junho slipped from the hold using a technique no one recognized, a wrestling move, developed on Earth's higher gravity. He quickly positioned himself behind Zar, applying pressure to specific nerve clusters where the Valaxian's exoskeleton was thinnest. Zar's eyes widened in shock. His 4 powerful arms, the pride of his species, suddenly wouldn't respond properly. "How?" he gasped. "How do you know where to strike?" Junho maintained the pressure. "I studied. While you were dismissing me as weak, I was learning how to defeat you." The referee drone hovered closer, its sensors detecting Zar's distress. "Submit," Junho said quietly. "There's no shame in it." With those words, echoing Zar's earlier taunt, the Valaxian champion signaled his surrender. The arena fell silent as General Zar's submission was officially recorded. For several heartbeats, no one moved. Then, murmurs swept through the crowd, like a wave, growing louder with each passing second. Lieutenant Junho stood slowly, his body marked with bruises and cuts, but his posture straight and dignified. He extended a hand to his fallen opponent. Zar stared at the offered hand with confusion before accepting it, allowing the much smaller human to help him stand. The gesture wasn't lost on the watching diplomats. "Never," Ambassador Koru whispered. "In 200 matches has Zar been defeated." In the diplomatic section, Ambassador Soha maintained her composure, but her eyes shone with pride. Elder Miyun nodded slowly, as if witnessing the fulfillment of an ancient prophecy. Medical drones approached both fighters. Junho waved them away, insisting that Zar be treated first. The Valaxian champion watched the human with new eyes. "Your species," Zar said quietly, as medics examined his injured joints. "Fights differently than any I've encountered." Junho dabbed at a cut above his eye. "We had good teachers." "Teachers?" "Every predator on Earth, every storm, every winter, every day in gravity that crushes most species." Junho winced as he touched a particularly painful bruise. "We learned to keep going when everything told us to stop." News of the match result spread through the station like wildfire. By the time Junho limped back to the preparation room, hundreds of messages had flooded the human diplomatic channels. Species that had previously avoided contact with humans were suddenly requesting meetings. Dr. Yunji rushed in with medical supplies. "That was either the bravest or most foolish thing I've ever seen," she said, applying healing gel to his wounds. "Maybe both," Junho admitted with a tired smile. The door slid open again. Ambassador Koru entered, his posture stiff but correct. The Valaxian's face was impossible for humans to read, but his voice carried a note of respect that hadn't been there before. "The Valaxian Empire acknowledges your victory, Lieutenant. It was educational." Junho nodded. "Thank you, Ambassador. Our understanding of human capabilities will need revision." Koru hesitated. "General Zar has requested joint training exercises between our forces. Would that be acceptable?" Before Junho could answer, Ambassador Soha entered. "We would be delighted to arrange such exchanges, Ambassador Koru. Perhaps we all have much to learn from each other." Later that evening, a small celebration gathered in the human section of the station. Station staff from a dozen species attended, curious about these Deathworlders who had suddenly become the focus of everyone's attention. Ambassador Soha raised a glass to understanding between species. As the night progressed, Junho found himself approached by a young Arconian, barely an adult by their standards but already ancient by human reckoning. "Elder Mune sent me," the young Arconian said. "He wishes to know if you would consider teaching some of our security personnel. Not just fighting techniques, but how you think during combat." Junho considered the request. "I'd be honored, but I'm not sure I have anything special to teach." The elder disagrees. He says humans have a quality rare in the galaxy, the ability to endure, adapt, and overcome without losing compassion. As if to prove the point across the room, General Zar had arrived. The Valaxian champion moved awkwardly with medical supports on his injured limbs, but he had come, a gesture unprecedented in Valaxian culture. "I think," Junho said, watching as Zar was welcomed by the humans, "this is just the beginning of Something important. The young Arconian followed his gaze. And what is that? Understanding that strength comes in many forms, Junho replied. And sometimes the most valuable lesson is learning how to get back up when you fall.